We often hear about the theory of evolution. But do we really know how it works? Let's find out. Have you ever wondered why giraffes have such long necks? Why are there no reptiles today that are as big as dinosaurs? And how did humans evolve from ape-like ancestors? The answers to these questions lie in the mechanism that drives the diversity of life on Earth, evolution. But how does it work? Before we can answer that question, we need to define what we mean by evolution. Evolution is simply the change in the heritable characteristics of biological populations over successive generations. More simply put, evolution is just the change in the traits of living things over time. For example, we are all familiar with dogs. Dogs come in all shapes and sizes, from the tiny Chihuahua to the massive Great Dane. But all dogs are members of the same species, Canis lupus familiaris. They all share common characteristics such as being carnivorous, having 4 legs and a tail, and of course, being furry. However, they display a wide range of traits that have been selected for by humans over the years through selective breeding. This is artificial selection. Natural selection, on the other hand, is the process by which organisms better adapted to their environment tend to survive and produce more offspring than organisms that are less well adapted. It is this natural selection that is the main driving force of evolution. Let's take a look at the peppered moth. This moth is found into different color variations, light and dark. Before the Industrial Revolution in England, the light moths were more prevalent as they were better camouflaged against light-colored tree trunks, making them less visible to predators. However, during the Industrial Revolution, pollution from factories darkened the tree trunks, with the light-colored moths now more easily spotted by predators. The dark moths became more prevalent as they were better camouflaged against the soot-covered trees. This shift in population is an example of natural selection in action. Now let's return to our earlier question about the giraffe's long neck. According to Darwin's theory of evolution, the ancestors of giraffes were small proto-giraffes with short necks. These animals lived in a savanna-like environment where they had to compete with other herbivores for food. Those giraffes with slightly longer necks had an advantage over the others as they could reach higher plants, giving them access to more food. As a result, these giraffes were more likely to survive, reproduce, and pass on their long neck genes to their offspring. Over many generations, the average neck length increased until we got the giraffes of today. But what about the dinosaurs? Why don't we have any large reptiles today like the dinosaurs? Well, the answer lies in the fact that evolution doesn't have a goal. It's not moving towards some predetermined endpoint. Evolution is simply a response to the environment. During the age of dinosaurs, the climate was much warmer than it is today. This allowed reptiles to thrive as they are cold-blooded animals, meaning they rely on external sources of heat to regulate their body temperature. However, with the onset of the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event, which led to the extinction of the dinosaurs, the climate cooled. This, combined with the fact that most dinosaurs didn't have the ability to regulate their body temperature internally, led to their demise. Mammals and birds, on the other hand, are warm-blooded animals. They can regulate their body temperature internally, allowing them to survive in a wider range of climates. This is one reason why mammals and birds are so successful today. Finally, let's tackle the question of how humans evolved from ape-like ancestors. Again, it comes down to natural selection. Humans share a common ancestor with the great apes, but at some point, our evolutionary paths diverged. Early humans and apes lived in different environments and faced different challenges. Humans developed larger brains, allowing for more complex thought and problem-solving abilities. We also developed the ability to walk upright on 2 legs, which freed our hands for tool use. These adaptations allowed humans to exploit new food sources and survive in a variety of environments. Apes, on the other hand, retained their larger body size and more ape-like features. In conclusion, evolution is the change in the traits of living things over time. It is driven by natural selection, where organisms better adapted to their environment are more likely to survive and reproduce. As we have seen, evolution has resulted in the incredible diversity of life on Earth, from the smallest microbe to the largest whale. Each organism is a product of millions of years of evolution, so the next time you look in the mirror, Remember that you are the result of the same evolutionary process that has shaped all life on Earth. Thanks for watching.